Welcome to the Marshall News and View Show. I'm Elaine Conyers, and today we're standing outside the Tall Grass liquor store that is owned by the city and is being built because we've run out of room. And next to me here is Scott VanMoer, who is the liquor store manager, and next to him is Ben Martig, who is the city administrator. You guys have been planning this, putting it all together for quite some time, and it's so exciting to see it developing this quickly. And I bet it's going to open here fairly soon, right?
Yes. It's been a very long time in the making. Ben and I and others have been trying to get this put together for probably a couple years now. And it's very exciting to see it all come together. And we're anticipating middle of November open date.
That's great. Ben, you've been in charge of all this planning, right?
Well, I guess in some ways, everybody's got their role in the project, and so there's all kinds of people. So I'm obviously involved in the money side of things. Scott weighs in a lot on the operations and giving feedback on what he feels the customers need in a new store.
Sure.
So, I think it goes back probably a couple of decades ago that they talked about building a new liquor store. So I think it's well overdue for the community, and we're excited to finally bring forward to our customers a new store that I think they're going to see a lot of improvements from the service that they receive at the store and the product selection and a whole bunch of other things that we'll talk about today.
Sure. Well, I feel too that location on East College Drive was so dangerous going in and out of there. I'm amazed that there weren't accidents. Maybe there were, but it just was such a bad business there trying to get in and out. So, and of course the store is much bigger, right?
Right. Yes, square footage wise, if we want to do some numbers, square footage in here as opposed to our existing store is more than double. Okay. And our parking lot obviously is very substantial. Our current store getting in and out of is hectic at times, to say the least, and yes, there's been plenty of fender benders in our parking lot, and to get in and out, and especially trying to cross traffic at different times, is terrible. Here we're close to some controlled intersections, so in and out access will be much improved.
Oh, good. Very good. Well, shall we take a tour inside?
Sure.
This is the front entrance to the store, and would you guys point out where everything is going to be?
It's kind of hard to anticipate right now, but to our right will mostly be glass. This will be your front entry, sliding doors here. Oh. Carts right there, and your second set of doors will be coming in so that you can block the wind and so on. So there's a double set of doors coming in.
Okay, this is kind of like an entrance foyer?
This is, yep. All hands free, so you won't, you've got product, or you won't have to worry about opening the door. You've got heated area as you come up on the sidewalk, so we won't have to worry about snow and ice getting in at the entryway. So it'll be a nice welcoming environment to us, and a real kind of open ceiling feel here as you kind of walk in through the second set of sliding doors.
Okay.
Off on your right here, if you need to use the restrooms, we'll have public restrooms, real accessible. The current store, they're kind of tucked in the back, so wanted to make sure that was readily available. So men's and women's, obviously, that we'll have. We've got a little maintenance office, and through the windows ahead is going to be our manager's office that he's got for his operations. So as you walk in here, you'll have a series of 3 checkout stations. One will be similar to our current checkout station, where we'll have 2 people on each side, a little bit bigger. Some improved displays that we'll have as well. So we do during peak sales times of the year, I guess, we do feel we have the need for 3, and we actually have the ability to add a 4th checkout station in the future if we choose to do that. So building in the capacity for expansion in the future, both in the site that we selected, so we do have expansion space for the city long term if there's a need to, but even within the store, being able to have an added checkout station. So Scott, maybe you want to take it over and you can cover something.
As you look in front of us here, there's going to be a divider wall that segregates from the entry to the exit. And as we come up onto the sales floor, off to our right in this alcove here will be display shelving and product. And as we come ahead, there will be a wide enough aisle here we can stack, whether it be seasonal products or gift packs or whatever we would like to go. And it's hard to imagine now without the shelving in the store but it will transform, and the customer will hopefully hit the coolers and go to your left, and the main area out front will all be wine display area and shelving. And as you can't probably see right here where all this construction equipment is, will be our checkout stations. Coming over here, you're looking at our new expanded cooler. We currently are using 21 doors at our current location. This will be 34 doors and 5 or 6 feet deeper, which will hold a lot more product. It will have LED lighting on the doors, which is very cold sensitive and it enjoys cold. So the doors will be very well lit, product will stand out, and it will be a much more shoppable environment. And in front of the cooler, we're going to have approximately 6 feet of space for carts so the customer can shop along it, whereas now we're pretty crowded. And the display beer area will be approximately what we have now, but it'll be away from the cooler, so it'll be much more accessible.
Will there be rows of product here? Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The rows of shelving will go this way.
Okay.
And then it'll wrap around the outside walls.
Okay. And what's the window area over there? Is that
That's
just
a
for
natural light.
natural light? Okay.
According to TSP, the idea behind it is the customer is drawn to natural light.
Oh.
So the customer is drawn that way to
Okay.
that end of the store.
Okay.
One thing we were sensitive to in regards to the natural light is light and alcoholic beverages of some kind don't always mix well together. So
Okay.
first of all, we wanted to make sure that we wouldn't get any direct sunlight on it, so they'll have shades on them. Most of the time, the way that the sun goes, we don't get them anyway. It's also a little bit higher, so we're able to maximize having shelving underneath those while still bringing in a little bit of natural light into the in the building as well. But anything on the exterior wall will actually have built-in shelving on the outside, and then the interior shelving is about 4 feet in height, roughly. So you're going to be able to. It's going to feel wide open and spacious in here as well. So you'll be able to have you'll be able to see through the store. You'll feel safe. You'll have plenty of elbow room. You know, in comparison to our current store that's just packed tight. I mean, we carry an extremely large selection of products in our current store. It's pretty amazing how much production we get out of that. But this is going to afford us a lot more comfortable environment to shop in. And so we'll have some things too, like a sound system. So there'll be music playing, some cut-in advertising. So we'll be able to kind of tell you what our daily specials are going on or interesting products.
Great.
So, yeah, and then some of the other feature elements, if like you look over here, there's some brickwork right behind you. So some of the elements in the design that we have, we're bringing some of the exterior building to the inside as well. And so, you know, one of the things as we kind of branded this new community store is we wanted to have something a little bit special as a community-owned liquor store to kind of speak to our region of Southwest Minnesota that Marshall kind of wants to be a regional center. So the Tallgrass Liquor is kind of a symbolic salute to the history of our part of the state as it relates to the richness of the soil, people who have a broad vision of the future, and so we want to bring some of that Southwest feel into it. So we wanted a store that looks nice, but that anybody would be comfortable walking into, whether you're a corporate person coming in a business suit, or if you're right off of the farm and you got some muddy boots. We want everybody feeling welcome in our store. Hopefully kick off the mud a little bit first. But we think we're going to hit the mark on that with people, so we're excited about it.
And now this little area here, that's again shelving, I suppose. Okay.
Scott's busy with the liquor store people trying to determine what product's going where. So he hasn't completely figured out the floor plan on as far as where the wine's section going to be, where's the liquor, where's maybe the craft beer is going to be. So he's still working that through, and I think experience from other liquor stores say sometimes that takes a little while to figure it out.
Yeah, we think we've got it kind of pretty much nailed down as to how we're going to set the store. Just unfortunately on the timing of it, we're going to be coming in right before the holidays, and so after we go through this first holiday season and we do set the store and we're going to see how things go, we can always change in the middle of winter, but we're hoping that we've got most of it right. I'm sure we'll have to move a few things, but currently we've pretty much got it all set, I think. So
Good. And then this area here, is this a loading area maybe?
This is our warehouse.
All right, we're in the warehouse area now, and this is where the trucks back up to unload the products. And I say it's quite a big step down, but they don't have to go down there. The truck will just back up and be on the same level here, right? I don't know much about trucks.
Yes,
but-
this is where all our vendors will bring product into our
Yeah.
back room, into our storage area. And we've got a dock plate and everything, so everything's at the right levels, whereas now our current dock is not at the right level, and it's, I would say, probably not very OSHA approved the way we operate right now on unloading our freight.
Okay.
And from here, it will come into our existing warehouse, and we can either break down pallets and put product in the back room where it goes, or we can bring it out onto the floor through a double door if needed, or the beer vendors can go directly into a double open door cooler, and they can break their pallets down in there. So it will save us a lot of labor. It'll save our vendors a lot of labor. And I really think they're going to enjoy having this
Yeah.
loading system. Yes.
Sounds good.
We're now standing in our cooler with the 34 doors on the front side. This is the back side where everything, our product will all be stored for the most part. And our racks over here to the right are all 6-foot slides. Will hopefully assist both the vendors and the customer in an easily shopping manner. And this cooler is approximately 90 feet deep and 22 feet, I think, across. So it's over double the current space that we have for refrigerated product.
Okay. Now, yeah.
I was going to say, Scott maybe alluded to it a little bit, but one of the things that we're really excited about in the new store is because of the fact that we're going to be able to have so much more product that's going to be stacked and shelved and ready to go, we're going to have more time to be able to serve the customer directly. So our sales associates, instead of spending a lot of time, particularly in our peak season during the holidays, they spend a lot of time running back and forth, loading the shelves and restocking, where we could be working with the customer and kind of answering questions, guiding them on their selections. We're going to be able to do a lot more of that, and that's one thing we're really excited about as well, is we're going to be able to give a lot more hands-on customer service to people if they're looking for that, to know about what the manager recommends on wine selection or what pairs well with certain foods. We want to be able to give more of that, hands-on feel to people to kind of let them be better served and let our people do their work serving the customer rather than stocking the shelves.
Great.
Behind me is our dry storage area that we will have extra product that does not all go out on the floor, and it is approximately 1,500 square feet where either product can get staged here or stored here. When we buy volume buys, we can store it back here so that we can buy it at the right price and sell it at the right price. Hard to tell right now, but we're currently standing in what will be our employee break room / meeting room when I get a lot of vendors in and we need to gather, say, around a larger surrounding. We will have a table here with 4 to 6 chairs. And we will also have a fridge, a microwave, and so on and so forth. We currently have no break room at all, and so it's a good place for an employee can come back here, go on a break, and have a sandwich and get refreshed and get back out on the sales floor. So hopefully we get a lot of use out of it in 2 different ways. 1, as a break room, and 2, as a little bit of a conference room for when maybe one of my vendors wants to introduce a new product to my staff. And so we can do some training back here as well.
Now, how many employees do you expect to have out here?
We're going to go with our current staff, which I think I have 10 on staff now. And hopefully, if it all goes as planned and we get increased traffic, we hopefully have to add to that.
Sure, okay.
So right here is kind of where all of the power comes into the store. It's kind of our utility closet, I guess, for all those IT-related things as well. So one of the things we've got, obviously, fire system, electrical panels that come in here. And one of the things that the council's approved as well is we're going to have a very sophisticated security system. So we have a number of series of cameras that are going to be in high definition. So, this will be a safe environment. We have a very well-lit parking lot. It's a little bit dark. I've got complaints on our existing store location that it feels like it's dark and concerns there. This will be a bright location. We'll have the highest quality of security system in place that you can feel safe in our environment to come out and shop. And so definitely want to make it known that we have a very high security store here with Tallgrass Liquors. We're excited about that, and you need a place for all of that stuff to come in. So also the sound system I talked about as we were out on the floor, that kind of will come back into the back office area that we've got as well. So we'll be kind of streaming some of that off of the internet with the music. So a couple little features there that you might not appreciate in a utility space.
Now, I really like the idea that it's going to be a secure place, because some people feel when they get out in the outskirts of the town how safe it is. But this is obviously very, very safe. And we talked about the number of employees that you expect, and what are the store hours?
Our hours will remain the same. We currently are open Monday through Saturday, 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, which we cannot be open any more hours than that according to state statute.
Okay.
No Sunday liquor yet. And so our hours will remain the same. And our choice for being open at 8 o'clock in the morning is for some of the people don't realize it. Some people work overnight and they get off work at 7, they do their shopping, and so it's just for the shopping convenience.
Okay, very good. And then there's an office here. Let's look at that.
We're currently standing in what will be a shared space office area, shall I say, and also for entering data entry and so forth. There is a window here that faces the north that I will be able to watch customers and watch our tills, and to see if anybody needs any help right offhand. I can get a good sight line to the workstations, and we will also have a buzzer that is connected back here in case help is needed up front.
Okay. Well, Ben, tell us about how this all came about. Who decided? How did we decide that this was something that we needed to do, and then how it worked out?
Okay, well, I'll give you the history of my involvement in it.
Sure.
Since I came in 2008, and this project had been on the list of projects to do for quite some time.
Okay.
I had plenty of memos and files and things about past discussion with the city about building a new liquor store. At the time, they had some priorities on some other funds, so they did allocate some cash funds that they had available to build a new library project. So
sure.
That was a critical piece that got done. So one of the pieces that we had to do was to build a financing plan with it. So we spent a little bit of time researching other facilities. Off-sale liquor stores, municipal liquor stores have been expanding across the state of Minnesota. They've been doing very well for a number of years. So we had plenty of good examples to use. So we looked at other markets to decide how big it should be. We had a committee of people who were involved in retail in our area. So we had some real estate people. We had some corporate people who dealt with retail store operations. We had some banking people. We had some legal people on this team. Scott was involved in that. They went and did some site selections, so we went around town and looked about best locations. Of course, in Marshall, there's a number of different commercial districts, so there's no one clear area on where to build, but we think we ended up with a good location in an area that's got growth for retail as well, so we like to be able to one of the things in the markets they determined is it's nice to be near shopping, other shopping options, particularly grocery, because people like to be able to shop for multiple things under one trip. So if it's easy for them to go to shop at a grocery store and then pick up the liquor as well with that works well. So this side of town, we have the two stores that we have currently. We've got Hy-Vee and Walmart available to us, so both of those are fairly close to the store operations. So kind of pick that, and then working with the city council along the way, obviously, to help guide that there's support for that. So we did financial planning, so we brought in a financial consultant to say, what do we expect to have in sales growth? What cash do we have on hand to use towards the project? And then what about debt issuance to help pay for it? So similar to if you wanted to build a new house, you might take out a loan. We're going to have a repayment on a loan, kind of like you'd have on a house mortgage. We're going to have a number of years to repay back that loan, but we think it's going to more than return the investment for the community. And I built another store in one of my previous jobs as well, and I know that these things can be very successful, and I think the combination of the new facility will certainly lend itself well. But there's a whole lot of approvals along the way. Of course, then there's the whole architectural side. There's a number of phases you have to go through on the architectural planning development as well. So it's quite a cumbersome process, and it's been a while since I've done a major construction project. You always forget about all the little details that there are at the end on decisions to be made about, okay, we got to order a new mop bucket, or we got to, what about a sound system? Who provides that system? What should we get? There's just so many details that you have to make along the way. And then I know Scott hasn't experienced it yet, but I know he's ramping up for how are we going to transition successfully guesstimating when we know that we'll be out of the current store. We want to be able to move over simultaneously, so we're going to close one day and we're going to open the other, probably over on a Monday, so that Sunday we're closed.
Okay.
We're thinking that would allow us a Sunday
Sure.
to maybe help with that transition.
right,
So
yeah.
we're looking probably right now somewhere around the second week of November is kind of where we're shooting
Okay.
for. We'll have a more specific public announcement when we know for sure, but I'd say we're on target for that. We really want to be able to have this open for the holiday season, for Thanksgiving,
Sure.
and moving into the Christmas season as well, because these are the two busiest months of the year. So Scott's got a heightened stress level, I guess, to
Yeah.
serve his customers during the busiest time of the year, but sometimes you can't always control that either. We had hoped to be completed well before that, but projects sometimes take a little bit longer than you anticipate too. So I think it'll be well worth the wait.
Well, another thing I want to add too, I don't remember, maybe you don't either, how many years the city has owned the and operated the liquor store. But do you know?
Since Prohibition.
So, oh, okay, all right. And I think that we're very fortunate that the city owns it, because the revenue then comes back into the city, and we can use it not only for upkeep of this building, but we can use it for other projects also. So that is a real good source of revenue for the community. And we're very fortunate, like I say, to have that, and we'll have increased revenue with this bigger building and everything. So it's going well, and you mentioned earlier that Marshall wants to be a regional center. It is, I'd like to tell you, it is a regional
Right.
center.
Thank you for correcting me.
I've been here a lot of years, and it's always been, from its beginning, really a regional center. Doesn't mean that we could have continued without bringing in new plans and new businesses and so on. But I think we've really reached quite a heights right now, not just with the liquor store, but with all the building that's going on around the city. And our viewers have heard this a lot of times. We visited a lot of the spots where all that growth is taking place. So we really appreciate the foresight and the planning that you both have put into this, and that this is going to be a open store here, actually not that long away. So appreciate all your work, and we invite the public to come out here as soon as it's finished. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Elaine. Thank you for your support on the city council as well. I shouldn't give you a plug on your own show, I guess, maybe. And thanks to Scott for all of his hard work and his staff as well. So they certainly made this thing a reality. So I think we're really excited.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got approximately 1 month to opening this store, and it has been a long and tedious process, and now we're just kind of wrapping up loose ends. And please come and shop for the holidays. Thank you.
So, well, goodbye to our viewers, and be sure and visit the program again next week. Thank you.